Good day, everyone. Christopher Gould, Greg Watson here, the Offsite Channel. Today, we're going to focus on component designers and the wheel of responsibility. Give you a different way to look at just exactly what they all do and how many different things are involved. So, first thing we got to know is that the designer is the heartbeat of the company. All right, they are literally the pulse of the company's reputation, the company's profit margin, so many different things. Let's take a look at this in a different way. All right, this is broken down into 4 quadrants as it relates to the designer. First of all, what they have to think about. What are they thinking about all day, right? What do they have to comprehend? What do they have to meet the needs of? And who they have to please, understanding how to please those folks.
Yeah, so what they have to think about is the company values and what is the prime objectives of the company. Are they really focused on maximizing profit through value engineering, or are they look to make sure that all the trusses match through with a master, for example, or what makes them tick, and how do they achieve the goals of the company? Also have to be knowledgeable and think about the building codes that they are designing to, and spot any errors that may be in the drawings that they've got, and raise that with the relevant parties. So they need to be knowledgeable about the designing codes. They also need to know about the building inspectors and be able to liaise with them, so if an issue does come back for whatever reason, they can competently speak to the building inspector and have that discussion and put any issue that they may have right.
Well, that's a lot to think about, Greg. So let's see what they have to comprehend. Well, obviously they have to know how to use the software efficiently. They have to have been through some training, have a little bit of experience so they can navigate through the software, be able to optimize efficiently, right? They have to know how to read plans, right? They've got to be able to comprehend the architect's plans, and sometimes we may find an issue that we may have to raise. We could be the resolution. We get chances to play hero sometimes on these jobs when things are overlooked. And we also have to understand and comprehend the framing practices. Different regions have different practices. Maybe different customers have different practices. For example, some guys don't want valleys. Other companies got to have valleys. You know, those little subtle nuances that could make your price too high or too low.
Yeah, and that could be state to state, region to region, country to country, couldn't it? I mean, you've got to be knowledgeable. Right. Different building codes within those regions and countries as well. So much going on. Also, being able to speak to the guys on site, so the general contractor, when they're erecting the frames, be it wall panels, roof trusses, floor joists. We also need to be able to speak to the engineers about how the frames are loaded, if they're loaded correctly, and get the seals done. And you've also going to have to look at the cost efficiency, and like I said before, value engineering, for example, and how they can do the most cost efficient design within the budget.
That's right. And in doing so, I mean, they got to understand how to please the shop staff. You know, are we cutting extra boards? Cost efficiency and shop staff are directly related. I mean, labor is a pretty significant cost, right? And then we got to understand how to please the design administration, right? Our managers, the owners, the salespeople, the ones that are responsible for the company itself, and making sure that we're adhering to whatever company values and standards are in place. And last but not least, the salesman, the face of the company, right? We have to be able to please this guy and make him happy. And what we find out is that every single one of these things is interconnected.
Yeah.
These 4 quadrants all work together, and the designer is right in the middle. They become the hinge on this wheel of responsibility.
the companies truly do not need to understand what the component designer does. They're responsible for so many different aspects throughout the business. They must perform so many tasks simultaneously, either doing shop drawings or drawings for approval or liaising with sales, for example. They seldom recognise the amount of effort and time that goes into their day. There's also design time as well for scheduling materials, for example. And you also, like previously touched on just there, need to have excellent time management skills and avoid distraction to hit the deadlines to allow their designs to enter the factory in a timely fashion so they can get fabricated and delivered to site on program.
Yeah, one thing I've always been a proponent of is making sure the designer has non-design time built into their schedule. I mean, how are we going to get more efficient? How are we going to grow unless our employer is allowing us time, downtime? In other words, non-design time.
Yeah.
For us to learn how to use the software better, or set up hotkeys, or look over the other guy's shoulder and see how he does it. These subtle things can allow us so much efficiency enhancement when those things are built in.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, that should give you an idea of some of the things and the wheel of responsibility. Look forward to seeing you all next time. And until then, have a good day.
Thank you very much.